I bike for a lot of reasons. I think that ecology is pretty high up there. It seems to me like a pretty good way to get around that avoids some of the resource problems that other modes have. But I also bike because I think of the street as a social space, and it works better to spend time with people on a bicycle or on foot than to be walled into a 2-ton hunk of steel.
I like to commute by bicycle to save the car trips. I like to exercise, and for me it's just a really good solo activity. Jack, why do you like to bike?
Bicycling is important to me because it's good for my body, and because I like the bike race.
And you like the bike race. Okay.
I bike to get from point A to point B. I also like to bike for my health. It's really important to me for my health, mentally and physically.
Feels good to get on the bike and go wherever your heart wants to take you.
And it not only feels good, it is good. It's a great exercise. So we're enjoying our life, and we're making the quality of our life better.
Bicycling is both an individual challenge, but also it's really, really social, and I love that about bicycling. I like biking with groups. I like picking rabbits on the road. I love to bike commute. The bicycle involved, I love it. It's great for grocery shopping, for traveling, and all sorts of activities. The latest one I've been doing is bicycle polo, which is a little bit hazardous, but it has its moments.
To me, the Bicycle Alliance of Washington has been a supportive organization that is interested in engaging with community and using bicycling as a way to do that. And they are working in a lot of different ways to make it better for everyone to bike in Washington State.
The Bicycle Alliance of Washington, for me, has been an organization that I can support that in turn supports riders like me. They support commuters, they support recreational riders, they support racers, they support kids on bikes going to school. So for me, it's where I can put my efforts that I would have the biggest impact for everyone, not just myself.
Bicycle Alliance is really important to me because I'd rather kick ass than kiss ass, and the whole political process is why we need Bicycle Alliance of Washington.
The Bicycle Alliance of Washington advocates for us as bike riders.
I'm involved in the Bikes Club of Snohomish County, a local bicycle and recreation club. And like so many clubs around the state, our main purpose is recreation, but of course we're impacted when the roads are not well planned, and the Bicycle Alliance is really great at coordinating and collaborating with local clubs, and that means a lot to me. Riders know the communities best, and the Bike Alliance recognizes that and really empowers us to be involved in things like Lobby Day in Olympia. Is really powerful for people to be able to go down to Olympia and speak with their legislators.
Well, you can affect a lot of change in the different cities. We've got some great big cities in Washington, but unless you have a presence in Olympia, unless you have a presence statewide, you're not going to reach all the cyclists in Washington. You're going to be very city specific. So again, I put my effort into the Bicycle Alliance because they have that presence there, and they have the expertise in Olympia to affect change and to be quick and to turn things around. I've seen it happen over the years, and that's why I continue to give them my support.
Most of us are using state highways at some points in our ride, and very few of us are limited to just our own little city or county. And so it's really great to have a statewide organization that is helping to empower and work with local cyclists and others who want to support active transportation around the state.
One of the things that I got into doing was helping out with a Safe Routes to School program that was being administered by the Bicycle Alliance over in Renton. And I'd heard of Safe Routes to School, but I'd never gone and seen on the ground what the education was like. And going and seeing all these, I think maybe they were 3rd or 4th graders, learning how to steer their bikes and get around this little course, and seeing them, not understanding how to use their brakes and just kind of putting their feet down when they wanted to stop. it was really cool, and it made me feel like, you know, this is a really great organization.
When we signed up to do the McClinchy Mile bike ride, which is in Snohomish County, we signed up to do it in 1999, and I happened to notice, $1 per rider supports the Bicycle Alliance of Washington. And I thought that sounded like a good thing to go on a ride that supported advocacy, but I didn't really know anything about the Bike Alliance at that time, other than just a line on a registration form. But a few years later, when I was the president of Bikes Club, someone came up with the idea to that the Puget Sound Area Bike Club should get together and host a single event that was all 100% for the Bicycle Alliance of Washington, and that's how the ride around Puget Sound got started. And Rhapsody celebrated its 10th year this year, and it is a beautiful ride.
Well, with the support of the Bicycle Alliance and Bikeworks, last year I did a project where I interviewed some different people who are leaders in communities of color in Rainier Valley, and talked to them a little bit about bicycling. Now, I was really curious how people who have a demonstrated commitment to empowering their communities and whatnot, what they saw as barriers to bicycling, or as what images they had in mind when they talked about bikes. That project really allowed me to investigate the ways that bicycling takes on different meanings in different times and places and in different cultures.
Bicycle Alliance of Washington is actually in our estate planning, and that's really important to us because we don't have children, and we are hoping that our money can go towards the future. We're not planning on passing away anytime soon, so hopefully it'll go to somebody else's children, and they can benefit from infrastructure or safe routes to school or something they can benefit from the Bicycle Alliance.
We encourage our employees to ride their bike to work because we're in such an urban environment, and we set an example by, as much as possible, riding our bike to work. Really, we find ourselves to be evangelists for the cause, evangelists for the tandem especially, but in general, just for the pleasure of spending your time on a bicycle.
The family that bikes together stays together.
Oh, come on, get it! Get it! Oh, good boy.